Guys, so this video is automating your diabetic supply business using a VA. All right, so now you want your VA to do the following: answer calls, make offers on supplies, update your price sheet, schedule appointments, create shipping labels, and bookkeeping. All right, so as far as answering calls, right, you want to have them, you want to give them access to some type of phone system they can access from where they're at. Most likely they're overseas, right? Virtual assistant. So you can give them access to a CRM like Revenue Automated that we use. That links in the bio. And that's a phone, that CRM has a phone system alongside a whole bunch of other features, but it has a phone system that you can answer through an app or through the desktop, right? So you give your virtual assistant access to the desktop, right? And they can answer, and all your phone calls will go through the desktop and the virtual assistant will answer it. Now, as far as the virtual assistant answering calls, you're going to give them a script, right? Create your script in Google Docs or whatever. And the virtual assistant will have a script to read to people who call them. They'll also have a script to read to people who text and email you. All right. Now, making offers. Now, the virtual assistant is going to make offers, right? So after them reading the script, they're going to ask, they're going to tell the customer how much that you pay for supplies. You can have a document that says how much you pay for each supply, right? You can also have your VA contact you on WhatsApp through text message and them check up with you on the offers they're going to make. You could do it that way until the VA gets comfortable on making offers. But like I said, you will have some type of document that has all your prices for each supply, which is basically the next topic, updating price sheets. So you have your buyer's price sheet, right? Those are the people we sell to. Then you should create your own price sheet where that has your offer to customers, right? So you'll give that to your buyer, to your virtual assistant. Now, your virtual assistant will use that to make offers to customers. Now, as far as updating the price sheet, that means that if the buyer updates their price sheet, say the buyer has Freestyle Light 100 count on their price sheet and Freestyle 100 count is $60, and then now the buyer says, hey, it's now $50. You want to go to your price sheet and update your price sheet and possibly put something lower to your customer if you still want that same spread, um, as far as selling it to the buyer. But if it doesn't matter to you, say you was making $30 off of Freestyle Light from each customer, and now the buyer went down $10, and you're just okay with profiting $20 now on Freestyle Light or whatever the case is, then you don't have to change it. Obviously, it's just up to you. But you want your virtual assistant to always look at your buyer's price sheets and make those changes, because there's supplies sometimes a buyer won't buy anymore, and you don't want your virtual assistant telling customers we buy that particular supply, and then they end up giving them the offer, the seller accepts the offer, and then you make the appointment to go over there, and your driver goes and buys the supply, or you buy the supply, and the whole time you can't even sell it, right? Now, next topic, schedule appointments. Your virtual assistant, after making the offer, right, they answer the customer's phone call or text or email, and they made the offer, and the customer said yes to the offer. Now you're going to schedule an appointment. So the virtual assistant will schedule appointment, and they'll schedule appointment based on what you tell the virtual assistant. Maybe you might tell the virtual assistant, hey, we have we're open to do appointments between 10 and 4 p.m. Right? So the virtual assistant can schedule appointments anytime between those times. Or you can have the virtual assistant contact you through WhatsApp. Hey, The customer wants to be met at this time. What's a good time for you? You could do it that way, right? You can also have the virtual assistant put all these appointments within WhatsApp in a thread to you, right? And update it through the day. So you have a whole text thread of, what appointments you need to go on for the day or the week, or you could just schedule it inside the CRM revenue automated that we use on the calendar feature and set it up that way, and you can go to the calendar and look at the appointments you have today. Or your driver, right? You can connect your driver to the CRM and they can see what's going on as well. Now, making offers. Now, your virtual assistant closing deals with people out of your state that's not in your state, and you're gonna have to have the customer mail you supplies. You can have the customer. You can have the customer. You can have the virtual assistant get the customer's address, and then your virtual assistant can go create a shipping label online, right? And then email the shipping label or text the shipping label link to the customer, and the customer prints it out and then puts it on a box, puts the supplies in a box and sends it to you, right? And then when we get the box, you can contact your virtual assistant and tell the virtual assistant to find out how the customer wants to be paid, or and vice versa. The customer might contact the virtual assistant and say, "Hey, my box dropped yesterday. When can I get paid?" Right. Another way, the last way to use your VA is, well, not the last way, but what we're talking about in this video, these topics, bookkeeping. So every sale that you make, you could have the virtual assistant write all of this down on a spreadsheet, right? Alongside the customer's name, phone number, address, and then you could say, "Hey, we bought 3 boxes of Freestyle Light 100 count for $25 each." Right? So we spent $75 and we're selling it, right, for X amount of dollars. If you want to add that as well. But I think you could just bookkeep just as far as just saying how much you spent, right? But if you want to get more detail, you can also put how much you're going to sell the supply for and what's the potential profit. And you could do all this on a spreadsheet, right? And you can share the spreadsheet with your team, with your virtual assistant, and stuff like that. All right, guys. So I have a course teaching all that stuff. Link is in the bio. All right, CRM, phone system, website, email, all of that stuff, all within Revenue Automated, the CRM we're using to manage the whole entire business. Those links are in the bio. Peace.